Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. Kevin Holland's 30 years old, 6 years younger than Ponzinibbio. He's also got 3 inches of height and 8 inches of reach. I think he's also going to utilize that reach well because he's got underrated power, Kevin Holland. He's got some good pop in his hands, and I think that's going to be the difference maker, or what gets the ball rolling anyway, because Holland's a very versatile guy. But most of his finishes, the overwhelming majority, come via TKO, and it's because, again, first and foremost, he's dangerous as a striker. And that's the type of fight Ponzinibbio is going to be looking for. Ponzinibbio, I know he's got submissions, I just can't think of one of them. He's a guy that wants to brawl, if not knock you out. And I think Ponzinibbio will be reduced to a brawler in this one. His path to victory, I see it being like a latter stage Diego Sanchez, where it's just, out hustling your opponent and getting by with a tight decision. That's really what I see here in this fight against Kevin Holland. And I know Ponzinibbio's lost tight decisions to guys who are considered better fighters, like Jeff Neal and Michel Pereira. I think they're considered better. I don't know. Either way, Kevin Holland knocked out Jeff Neal in round 3 before they got to the UFC. But my point is, Kevin Holland, I think, is a little underrated here after having some tough fights at middleweight. But here, welterweight, which is his natural weight, he's going to be the bigger, longer, taller man, and I think his power is going to carry him to a victory here. Ponzinibbio's been knocked out 3 times in his 6 losses. One of them might have been on the ground. I haven't seen it, but it was to a guy who was a grappler. Leonardo Mafra made it to the UFC way back when and got beaten by Rick Story, I believe. And then his other losses come to Lorenz Larkin in the UFC, the first chapter of Ponzinibbio's career, and maybe the first loss of his UFC career. And then recently he was knocked out to Li Jingliang after he came back from his layoff. That's a forgivable loss. So is Lorenz Larkin. Those are 2 of the best strikers in welterweight history, maybe. I don't know. But 2 very good strikers, and that's what it took to get him out of there. But I think Kevin Holland, again, he's underrated, and physically he's got so much going for him here. That, combined with the way Ponzinibbio looked in the Morono fight, which was just eye-opening. I mean, it was a glaring, low-output, pivotal fight. It looked like it was on its way to being a pivotal fight, and then he won in the end with a round 3 comeback. But especially with Morono having taken that fight on short notice, it was overall a bad look for Ponzinibbio. I mean, it was great that he got the comeback in the end, got the 3rd round TKO, and that's a testament to his power, also his durability and his grit, which was there for him in those decision losses against Michel Pereira and Jeff Neal over the last few years. But again, I think Kevin Holland's one of these guys that a lot of guys just can't put their finger on, though. They have a hard time assessing him as a welterweight or a middleweight because he fluctuates so much. But he's a very tricky fighter who can beat some of the best and probably lose to some of the worst, inside the UFC. But I think he's going to beat Ponzinibbio. I think this is one of those guys that, one of the better guys that he can look excellent against. And that's what I'm expecting from Kevin Holland. I think he's going to look excellent. I think he's going to hurt Ponzinibbio relatively early, not like 90 seconds, but, in the first round, maybe second round, and he's going to put him away. And, of course, when I say put him away, I'm thinking it comes via strikes, but Kevin Holland is so crafty and so deadly, he could lace up a choke, be the first one to submit Ponzinibbio. But I'm taking Holland to win and be too much. His finish line is plus 125. That's what I've played. His money line, minus 245, doesn't intrigue me. But, yeah, the finish line does. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.